situazione si fa sempre più tragica. Sto incominciando ad avere paura, dico la verità.
The Italian Alps are closing out the month of March in a state of atmospheric contradiction. While spring blossoms are appearing in the valleys of Lombardy and Veneto, the high-altitude peaks of the Dolomites and the Aosta Valley are currently locked in one of the most significant late-season snow cycles of the last decade. As of today, March 30th, a series of powerful stow effects, orographic lifting, combined with a deep Mediterranean low, have transformed the northern Italian skyline into a monolithic wall of white. Meteorological stations across the Italian Alpine arc are reporting snow depths that are significantly above the 30-year average for late March. In Cervinia, the base depth on the upper mountain has reached a staggering 175 centimeters, with some wind-drifted areas measuring over 3 meters. The resort, which sits under the shadow of the Matterhorn, is currently benefiting from a perfect storm of cold Arctic air meeting moist Mediterranean currents. The resort of Alagna, part of the massive Monterosa Ski area, has recorded over 1.2 meters of fresh snowfall in the last 72 hours alone. Local officials describe the conditions as full winter, even as the calendar turns toward April. In the east, Cortina d'Ampezzo and the Sella Ronda circuit have seen a more modest but consistent accumulation of 40 to 60 centimeters of fresh powder since March 27th, ensuring that the upcoming Easter ski season will be one for the history books. However, the beauty of the fresh powder masks a lethal danger. The European Avalanche Warning Services, EAWS, has maintained a level 4, high risk, for much of the Piedmontese and South Tyrolean Alps today, March 30th. This heightened alert follows the tragic events of last week in Val Radana, where a massive slab avalanche swept across a popular backcountry route. Experts warn that the hidden layer, a weak foundation of faceted snow from a dry January, is now struggling to support the massive weight of the new March snow. With temperatures predicted to rise slightly tomorrow, the risk of wet snow avalanches at lower elevations and wind slab collapses on northern aspects remains critical. For the Italian tourism industry, the snowfalls of late March are a financial blessing. After several years of erratic winter starts, this surplus of snow has guaranteed that high-altitude resorts can remain fully operational well into May. We are seeing a 25% increase in late-season bookings compared to 2024, says a representative from the South Tyrol Tourism Board. The visual of the snow-covered Alps on social media is driving a last-minute rush for the Easter holidays. It is the best possible advertisement for Italian winter sports. Meanwhile, the E45 highway, specifically the stretch crossing the Apennines between Romagna and Tuscany, is currently facing severe disruptions as a Buran-style cold front collides with moisture from the Adriatic Sea. As of this morning, the most critical conditions are reported at the Verghereto Pass, Valico del Verghereto, the highest point of the E45. Heavy snowfall, locally known as nevicate intense, began late last night, accumulating over 40 centimeters of fresh snow in less than 6 hours. Traffic is heavily congested between the exits of Bagno di Romagna and Pieve Santo Stefano. Authorities, ANAS and Polizia Stradale, have implemented a temporary ban on heavy goods vehicles, HGVs, over 7.5 tons between Cesena and San Sepolcro to prevent jackknife trucks from blocking the dual carriageway. Police are conducting checkpoints at the Mercato Saraceno entrance. Any vehicle not equipped with winter tires or snow chains is being diverted. The rapid intensification of the storm caught several motorists off guard. Over the last 24 hours, the Vigili del Fuoco, firefighters, have performed over 30 interventions to assist cars that slid off the embankment near Canili. The visibility dropped to less than 10 meters in a matter of minutes, reported one stranded traveler. The wind-driven snow created a total whiteout effect on the viaducts, making it impossible to distinguish the asphalt from the barrier. Meteorologists explain that this specific event is caused by the Adriatic snow effect. Cold air streaming across the warm Adriatic Sea picks up significant moisture, which then hits the Apennine ridge, leading to intense, localized snow squalls. While the coastal cities like Rimini are experiencing heavy rain, areas just 30 kilometers inland are buried under winter conditions. The E45 is notorious for its complex engineering, featuring numerous high-altitude viaducts and long tunnels. Sub-zero temperatures on the exposed viaducts have created black ice, a transparent and lethal layer of frozen runoff. ANAS has deployed a fleet of 15 snowplows and salt spreaders between the E45A14 junction in Cesena and the border of Umbria. However, the sheer intensity of the snowfall is currently outpacing the clearing efforts. Travelers are strongly advised to avoid the E45 for the next 24 hours, unless absolutely necessary. Consider using the A1 Autostrada del Sole, Bologna to Florence, which, while also seeing snow, has more robust clearing infrastructure and lower altitudes at the passes. If you must travel, ensure your fuel tank is full, carry warm blankets, and have a power bank for your mobile devices. In case of breakdown or being stuck, dial 112, Universal Emergency, or 1518, CCISS Viaggiare Informati, for real-time traffic updates. Meanwhile, in Capricata, a town in Molise located at 1,421 meters above sea level, where snow has been falling steadily for hours. Over 35 centimeters of fresh snow have already fallen, and precipitation shows no signs of abating. Heavy snowfall is also falling in Campo di Giove, located at over 1,000 meters above sea level, and on the eastern slopes of the Gran Sasso d'Italia. On the Teramo side, flakes have reached the hamlet of Casale San Nicola, with precipitation expected to continue in the coming hours. The event is expected to peak between tonight and Thursday. Total snow accumulations in Capricata will likely exceed 1 meter, a sobering threshold considering it's the end of March. The mayor of Capricata, Candido Paglione, announced that, given the current Arctic cold spell with gale-force winds and heavy snowfall, which are making traffic difficult, for safety reasons, the schools at the Capricata School Complex have been closed for tomorrow, April 1st, 2026. We are a mountain people. We respect the snow, but we do not fear it, says a local shopkeeper, his voice muffled by a thick wool scarf. Behind him, a specialized snowblower, resembling a piece of heavy artillery, roars to life, carving a path through a drift that reaches the second-story windows of the surrounding stone houses. Schools have been shuttered, and non-essential travel is strictly prohibited. The provincial roads, Provinciale 84, connecting the mountain hamlets to the regional capital, Campobasso, are currently the front line of a mechanical war. Plows work 24/7, battling La Tormenta, the blizzard, that reduces visibility to near zero. While the heavy snow creates logistical nightmares, it is the lifeblood of Molise's winter economy. In Campitello Matese, one of the most famous ski resorts in southern Italy, the mood is one of cautious celebration. The powder is perfect, says a resort manager. After seasons of erratic weather, this dump ensures that the slopes will remain open well into the spring. It is a gift from the mountains. However, the gift comes with a price. The isolation of these villages poses significant risks for the elderly population. Local carabinieri and civil protection volunteers have been deployed on snowmobiles to deliver medicine and bread to those living in outlying contrade districts, who are literally murati vivi, walled in alive, by the drifts. Social media has been flooded with surreal images from Molise. Photos show residents exiting their homes through attic windows because the front doors are completely blocked by walls of compacted snow. In the town square of Capricata, the iconic Il Guerriero statue is barely visible, with only the tip of its bronze spear poking through the white shroud. Meteorologists warn that the cold snap is far from over. A low-pressure system over the Tyrrhenian Sea continues to draw in Arctic air, promising another 40 to 60 centimeters of accumulation before the week is out. There is a long-standing joke in Italy that Il Molise non esiste, Molise doesn't exist, because of its tiny size and obscurity. But when the snow falls, Molise becomes the center of the world. The grit of the Molisani people shines brightest in these moments. Neighbors check on neighbors, communal woodpiles are shared, and the scent of slow-cooked ragu and polenta wafts through the chimneys of houses buried in white. As the sun sets over the snowy peaks of the Menard Range, The landscape looks like a scene from a forgotten fairy tale. Beautiful, brutal, and profoundly silent. Molise may be small, but its winters are legendary, reminding us that nature, in its frozen fury, still holds the power to stop the modern world in its tracks.
A questo punto, essendo le 13,